Hi guys, this is just going to be a quick MMO key binding guide, really simple. This method I think gives you the most effective control, the fastest response time and the most comfort if you're going to be playing over a long period. All you need to do it is a regular keyboard and a mouse with 5 buttons. You don't need any fancy gear, nothing. You don't need to spend £200 on a gaming setup. Any keyboard and a 5-button mouse will work just fine. Okay, first things first, I'm going to start with a mouse. Pressing both buttons together on most MMOs will make your character run forward, so there really is no need to press the W key, and this in itself frees your fingers up, to be doing what you should be doing, which is spells and abilities. The way I have it is, well, on my Naga I have button 1, which will be your first button on your 5-button mouse there. I have that to strafe left. And button 2 is on strafe right. Doing it this way means you can have max control using just one hand. 2 mouse buttons together to run forward, and then you can use your thumb to strafe left or right. This frees up your left hand completely on the keyboard solely for spells and abilities. You don't need to be using WASD, you don't need to use Q and E to strafe right and left at all. It's just total freedom with your left hand. Your right hand really does all the moving. And the middle button on the mouse is really optional for you. I use it for auto run if I'm doing PvP. That way I can just click that and then I can press the left button on the mouse and see what's behind me or whatever. But if I was in PvE I might want to have it as walk backwards, but I don't use that in PvP, so I just have it as auto run most of the time. Okay then, now onto the keyboard. Seeing as your right hand, if you're right-handed, is doing all the movement, your left hand is completely free just for spells and abilities. And the way I use this is I use my little finger, my pinky finger is on T. I use that as target instead of what would default be tab. And then my other fingers lie on U and I. And the other thing is my thumb rests on Alt. The reason for this is, it's a modifier key, so instead of having to stretch all my fingers, I could just press Alt T, Alt Y, Alt U, easy peasy, and it just gives me twice as many buttons, and all I've got to do is push down Alt on my thumb, which is already there. So that's the beauty of this key binding method, really. The surrounding keys I use are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, OP. You can see them, they're all in green. P and L need a little bit of stretching, but all the ones closest to the blue numbers, you've hardly got to move your fingers at all. Easy peasy. This gives you 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, it gives you about 24 keybinds, and you don't even have to move your hand. So easy fragging. And last of all, what are in the orange keys, I use my thumb, so I can use my thumb to jump as you would normally, but then you've also got the keys that are near to your thumb, like M, and then there's the little left arrow key next to it. I actually have that bound to my map because I'm using a Steel Series keyboard, and that's the way the keys lie. But you could probably use all the other buttons that are around Alt as well. You could probably even use the question mark. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons just on your thumb. Easy peasy. That's it. Thanks for watching. Hit me up on stormscale or give me a whisper if you watch my video, and leave a comment if you've tried it and you think it is better than what you were using before. Little bit, I've been playing WoW since BC, and now I'm playing Hunter, and I couldn't understand how people strafe and shoot at the same time, like just using all the fingers on the keyboard. So I use this method. I used to have a Razer Nostromo, but now it sits in my cupboard. Now I'm using a Steel Series Cataclysm keyboard and a Naga, but the only other button I use on my Naga is number 5, which is the middle one. I use that as control, which is another modifier key. Other than that, I just use the exact same keybinds as I said in the video. You know, I do use some of the buttons on a Naga, but I could live without them. Hopefully, if you've watched this video before you've gone out and spent on £100 on a keyboard, £60 on a mouse, because really, you know, none of that stuff is needed with this method. Easy peasy. It's especially good for hunters and casters that need to be moving and casting spells at the same time. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. If this video did anything for you, leave me a comment, I'll get back to you. Cheers.